What's up to you, gangsta girl to the gram, back with another video. As y'all can tell by the title, I'm gonna be doing story time about my ear. Now, if you guys did not know, I did say in a previous video that I was gonna do a story time for y'all if y'all really wanted it, so here it is. But before we get to it, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and without further ado, y'all, let's get straight into this video. So we're in 2023. This incident, I want to say, started in early 2017, or maybe early 2018, late 2017. So I feel like, personally, there's no record of this, but I personally feel like I caused this myself. So long story short, I ended up having to get an ear tube in my left ear. I no longer have it anymore because it fell out. But I want to say one point I did clean my ears with a Q-tip, and I saw something that distracted me. And as I was cleaning my ear out, I ended up jabbing it into my eardrum. And I think that is what caused this series of things to happen in order for me to get an ear tube. So I remember waking up one day, I was laying on my left ear, and I woke up and couldn't hear in my ear. I started freaking out. I'm like, okay, why can't I hear? So I ended up going to urgent care, and they were like, oh, you got fluid in your ear. And I'm like, okay. Mind you, I'm like, what you mean I got fluid in my ear? So, if you've ever been to urgent care, their procedures are they're going to give you steroid shot, and there was some other shot they gave me as well. And then, of course, they're going to prescribe you everything under the sun to try to get, the fluid out your ear. It did help. And then from there, I ended up getting sinus infections. And then every time I got a sinus infection, a week later, the fluid would come back in my ear. So that happened, I want to say, for at least 3 months straight. So I would have to go to the urgent care like every other month. And it got to a point where they're like, we are going to sit here and transfer you and refer you to an actual ear doctor because you've been here way too many times with the same situation, and clearly what we're doing is not helping it. So we're actually going to get you to look at an ear specialist that knows a little bit more than we do. So that's exactly what I did. Love him. Favorite doctor ever. Went to him. His name is Dr. Aber. And I remember he looked, and he actually tried a different procedure when the next occurrence happened. And he actually had to go in there, not surgically, but like kind of cut the eardrum open and try to suck out all the fluid. Y'all, that was some painful stuff because you don't be under for that. You actually feel all of that. That was painful. Don't recommend it. But even that didn't help. It came right back again, even with him sucking it out and all that. So that's when he's like, okay, you know what? We're going to have to go ahead and prep you for surgery, and we're going to have to put an ear tube in your ear. I was like, do whatever you got to do. That way I ain't got to keep going to no doctors. I ain't got to keep doing all this back and forth. So I remember, I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was early October 2018. I went in and got my ear tube put in. I remember that same day I woke up out of amnesia and I couldn't breathe. And evidently with him doing the surgery, I ended up getting a head cold. So I suffered for a whole week with a head cold that felt like COVID. Mind you, I've never had COVID, but just imagine if you've had COVID, that's exactly how I felt. Literally had a fever the whole week, no matter how much ibuprofen, Motrin, Tylenol, whatever drug you could give me, it did not help my fever. My fever was not breaking for nothing. I felt completely exhausted. It was miserable, okay? It was very miserable. I was like hot 24/7. It was really bad. But I survived and got through it. And honestly, since I had my ear tube in, I was completely fine from there. Of course, I had to stay away from water. Water couldn't go in my ear. But hey, having an ear tube in your ear is perfect for when you gotta fly in the air on an airplane, because ear tubes love that. So I was like, that's my motivation to start traveling more. But basically, last year, I want to say maybe a month before my birthday last year, I went to my ear doctor for a checkup because I go every year. And he told me, wow, your ear tube is very close to falling out your ear, because after 4 to 5 years, it starts falling out your ear. So he said you probably have another year or so and it'll be completely out. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I want to say not even a couple weeks later, I started having pain in my ear. And I started having headaches and fevers again. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I made an appointment because I remember I couldn't hear. And I made an appointment, of course. They're super booked. So I had to wait to go get an appointment and see them. Unfortunately, I ended up having to suffer with this on my birthday. My appointment wasn't until I think like 4 days after. So I went in and they're like, your ear tube's out. I'm like, what do you mean? I was just here a whole month ago and my ear tube was still in my ear. Well, evidently, from the time I went to my appointment till then, either when he checked it the month before, he might have knocked it out of place and it just started to fall out even more from there. Or it just decided itself that it was just gonna come out from then. But the reason why I couldn't hear is because my ear tube was stuck in my ear canal and was bothering my ear canal to where it got very irritated. And that started blocking my hearing in my ear. So the doctor was able to get it out. Now, it took some time, okay? Like, he had to put some drops in there because it was very dry, very irritated. So he had to put some drops in there, let it sit in there, get it moist and whatever. It took him a while because he had to, like, you know, get some... he had to get some equipment in there and try to pull that bit out. But I don't know how long it took, but he finally got it out. And when I saw what the ear tube looked like, when I tell y'all, I've never researched what an ear tube looked like. But when I finally saw how little that motherfucker was, I was like, this thing is what was keeping my ear together for almost 5 years. This little bitty thing, it's smaller than my fingertips. And that thing was literally in my ear, holding my ear together. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. But not only that, but they had a hard piece of wax that had built up on the other side of it as well. So that's why it was a little bit harder for them to get it out too. But as soon as he took that thing out, oh, I felt so much relief. Of course, my ear and my hearing was still blocked because, like I said, my ear canal was inflamed. So I had to get drops so it could heal. Worst part about the entire situation is that literally I had to wait for a week just to get the right drops, because the drops that he prescribed me, my insurance did not cover, and they wanted $600 for these damn drops. Your girl wasn't paying that. Okay? I'm not paying $600 for no damn... Y'all gonna figure something out? Y'all gonna prescribe me something else? Because no. No, thank you. So they finally did after a week. After fighting with them and Walgreens for a whole week, I finally got something. And I started using it for a week. And literally the day before my appointment, I used the last of it. And thank God, by the grace of God, my ear was good by the time my appointment. Because I was like, look, I went a whole week without any drops, okay? And I got to go see this doctor in 2 weeks. So by the time a week from my appointment is when I got my drops. So I'm like, if my ear does not heal with these drops in a week, and I got to go back to this doctor and it's still not together, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. Because I literally had to suffer for a whole week with no drops. No sensation with my ear. Even though the ear tube's out my ear is still irritated because it's not getting any relief. So I'm just like, great. just great. Thank you. But I am forever blessed that I don't have to really deal with that anymore. I'm good to go to have water in my ear. I'm still skeptical, okay? I'm still skeptical about it, but they're telling me I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about ear problems with water anymore since the ear tube's not in my ear. I did see an audiologist and she did my hearing test and she said I was good to go. But other than that, your girl's good with my ear. Every now and then my ear will kind of like mess with me, you know, because it hasn't been a full year yet since it's been out of my ear. So my ear kind of still like, I feel like it's still in there and I have to train my ear. No, baby. It's not in there no more. Can you like get back to normal? But I don't think it will ever get back to normal since I've had that situation in 2018. But I feel a lot better with my ear. I don't suddenly get too many ear pains every now and then, like I said, but I feel like it's because my ear is still technically trying to get into the motion of having an ear tube in it for so many years. I feel like my ear is still trying to, you know. I was advised to be very cautious when it comes to allergy season because if I do end up getting sick and the fluid does get back into my ear again, we're gonna have some problems. So to try to prevent it, I started taking allergy medicine every day and I really haven't had any problems since then. So if I have to take allergy medicine for the rest of my life, I might just have to do that because I'm not trying to go back through no ears. Look, I done had surgery on my ear. I done had procedures on both my big toes. Those two areas are very sensitive. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. And the fact that I went through both of them in a 4-year, no. So yeah, take care of your big toes. Because even 24-year-olds can end up with ingrowns and have to have multiple procedures to get both toes under wraps. And even a simple pushing a Q-tip too far in your eardrum can result in 4 years of an ear tube. So, well, the story is make sure you take care of yourself. Yeah, those were not fun. I honestly don't want to go through anything else. But look, that's not up to me. Okay, it's not up to me. But hopefully I won't have to go through anything anytime soon. But that's my story time for my ear. No problems with my right. It's just an uphill battle with my left. Like I said, it's still in its own little world sometimes and thinks that, you know, I'm still gonna bother you even though this ear tube's not in there no more. I'm still gonna bother you. And it's like, to an extent you're gonna bother me, because if you start bothering me again, I'm going back to the doctor. And we're gonna figure out what's going on with you, because I ain't got time. But that was my story time for my ear. A lot of stuff, but it's over for now, at least. Hopefully forever, but only time will tell. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep y'all up to date with the things that go on, but so much goes on that I literally forget to let y'all know about it until it just comes up, and then I'm like, oh wait, I didn't tell y'all about that. Yeah, it literally takes me doing life updates to realize that I don't tell y'all everything. But I digress. That's the last thing I think I have to tell y'all, because I technically already told y'all about my toe. So I think that's it. But if I think of anything else that I didn't tell y'all, I'll let y'all know, because y'all gonna get another story time about it. But to the game, thank y'all guys so much for joining, and I will see you guys next video.